What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I've got another very important AMC update to bring all of you this afternoon. So what we're going to be covering in this update is a little bit of the price action that we were seeing on Friday. It was a really crazy day. The market kind of switched into that crash bear market territory, then flipped right back to the upside. Crazy day. We also have to talk about what we are seeing on the Ortex short interest utilization numbers for both AMC and GME, because at the current time, we're seeing some absolutely wild numbers. Now, in addition to this, we also have about 2,300 funds getting margin called at the current time. We've been talking about kind of that margin debt chart, the price action that we're seeing in a wide variety of different markets, and how this could potentially lead to widespread margin calls. And we're finally starting to see this start to kind of trickle down. So I want to analyze that for you as well. We also have Citadel's Ken Griffin making some absolutely wild statements that I want to go over as well, and 0 shares left to borrow. So before we get into all of that information, if you enjoyed the information and analysis that I provide for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And again, guys, you are seeing this on Friday, every single day of the week when we are trading live. If you guys do want to really take your essentially financial situation in the markets into your own hands, empower yourselves to really take control of this trading strategy that we are giving you guys, make sure you check out that link down below in the description to the 1348 Discord with me, TMI, and Gabe Review Dork over here. You're going to get over 40 private live streams every single month, alerts on over 850 stocks, our private trading algorithms. Make sure you guys check that out if you are interested. So when we're looking at what we saw on AMC on Friday, again, we were seeing that overall craziness on the way down in the overall market, and AMC just kind of went with it. We did see a little bit of a relief bounce going into the end of the day, but again, still over $12 a share. We have a long way to go, but this battle is not over yet. Now, when we look at the Ortex data over here, again, 22.07% estimated short interest on AMC, 113 million estimated shares to be sold short on at the current time, 2.89% average cost to borrow with 4.33% max. Now, we also have 159.86 million shares on loan. That is the all-time high. So we are seeing an aggressively high amount of shares going out on loan, shorting coming into the stock. Absolute craziness. Now, when we come over to GameStop over here too, we have some crazy numbers to cover as well. 25.37% estimated short interest, 17% cost to borrow on the average, 26% max. Both AMC and GME are stepping up in terms of these cost to borrows, the amount of short interest in these stocks right now, and the amount of shares on loan. So again, the shorts are still aggressively coming at this stock. Now, let's talk about this margin call situation and kind of expand on it a little bit to kind of give you guys a better understanding of what actual data points are telling us. So when we come over to this article here, we can see China's almost $1 trillion hedge fund industry risks worsening the turmoil in its stock market as deepening portfolio losses trigger forced selling by some managers. Now, there's a key difference here that I want you guys to really understand. Forced selling and margin calls are two very, very different things. But right here, about 2,350 stock-related hedge funds last month dropped below a threshold that typically activates clauses requiring them to slash exposures, with many headed toward a level that mandates liquidation, according to an industry data provider. Such signs of stress were close to historical high. So when we're looking at this right here, and we're kind of going over the difference between what we're looking at here with a margin call versus forced liquidation. Well, when we're looking at it, when a margin call goes through, they can just put extra cash into their account and they're completely fine. They can then avoid that call and continue on with their day. But if they're forced to liquidate their position, that is a massive problem. Now, in addition to this, when we look over here at some of these values right here, the FINRA margin debt chart versus the S&P 500, the margin debt's going to be in red right here, the S&P in blue. So what we've seen over the last couple of months, and the top over here, the margin debt down 3.3% in April. Again, this has been on a decline. This is a sign of a widespread deleveraging in the overall market. Now, this could be the result of people kind of repositioning themselves, or again, like we were seeing in that China situation, widespread margin calls. Now, we've been seeing this situation develop for the last couple of months, and this is just the start. This is not going away anytime soon. You can see that on this chart as well, it lists out in the gray right here. You can see it's kind of highlighted the time periods where we were in a quote unquote recession. This easily could come back over here, and we could see another level where the margin debt and the S&P are going to fall even more. So we're going to have to keep a lookout for that as well, just like we have been doing. Now, we also have Ken Griffin making some pretty wild statements. We've covered a couple of these in the past, but there are a couple of other statements that I kind of want to go over as well. So when we come over here, Griffin pointed out that it's investors like pension plans, talking about Melvin Capital here, Gabe Plotkin, that got hurt when retail investors decided to put a short squeeze on GameStop and other meme stocks in an effort to bring down Melvin, Gabe Plotkin's hedge fund. So you basically helped wipe out pension plans of teachers. You feel good about that. So what he's trying to do here is basically have this moral high ground, which doesn't make any sense, because if you're Gabe Plotkin or Citadel's Ken Griffin, you can't then just come out and short good companies and then put everyday working people out of work, and then they can no longer contribute to society. It's the same difference here. Honestly, man, he's going to come out and try to save face all of the time. At this point, there's nothing really he can do. The public image that he has right now is not going to help him. We've heard this a couple of times in the past that he was looking to run for office, but more recently, that is absolutely not going to happen at all. Now, in addition to this, I also want to talk a little bit about the options chains and how there's 0 shares left to borrow on GME right now, going into next week on Untitled Chapter, which, remember, is only getting their data from one broker. So when we're looking at this right here, again, we've seen those high cost of borrows. We are seeing really, really high short interest. There is that scarcity element in the securities lending market for these shares right now, and we're seeing less of them being able to get loaned out on a day-to-day basis. Now, when we switch over to AMC right here, there are a couple 100,000 or 100,000 right now on Untitled Chapter that are available to go out on loan, but we are on SSR again going into next week. Hasn't really helped us all that much in the past. Again, this is the uptick rule, or the short sale restricted rule, meaning that these institutions cannot short the stock as it's going down. They can only short it as it's going up, unless they mark the shares as short exempt, which market makers can do, and some of these other institutions can do anyway. So it's kind of a useless rule in general. So when we come down here a little bit more, we have, again, going into next week, about 5,000 call contracts in the money, 73,000 call contracts out of the money, 12,000 put contracts in the money, and 28,000 put contracts out of the money. So again, this last week was a monthly options expiration period, so there is going to be a little bit more action in terms of open interest on these options chains for this past week, and then they kind of slow down going into this next week as well. But again, in my mind, we've talked about this in the past, I personally am not buying any AMC calls right now. We have gone over what we need to see, those 1348 crosses on the 4-hour time frame, those closing candles above the 200 EMA. Then I will consider getting back into some call positions on AMC. So that is going to wrap up this update on AMC and this whole margin call situation that we have been kind of looking at for a long time now. If you enjoyed the information and analysis that I provided for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. So I hope you guys are having a great evening, and I'll see you guys in the next video.